Good evening. Oops. What is your problem? You're not plugged in. Oh. Good evening. I hope you can hear me. There. Now I think you can hear me. You know, I'm going to get this all right one of these nights. One of these nights, it's all going to come out perfectly. It's going to be 7 o'clock and bang, I'll be there and you'll be able to hear me and see me. And this isn't quite night, but we're getting closer all the time. And it is just moments after 7, so I'm going to cut off a little slack because my computer still said it was 7 o'clock when I went live with a voice. So hopefully you can all hear me. My microphone says it's working. The thing that I get to look at while this is going on looks like it's working. I got the countdown, the little circle went round and round, and it said I'm live. Oh, thank you very much, Rosa Maria. Hello, darling. She's always the first one here. Thank you, darling. I appreciate that. Oh, happy Wednesday. Has this been as strange a day for you as it has been for me, kind of? I mean, it's been hot all week. I've been in t-shirts and shorts and summering, just really having a ball. In fact, those of you who know me know that I'm a real weather wimp. And so I've been complaining about the heat. Today, when I woke up, the marine layer was in. It was gray everywhere. And it has stayed that way all day long, except for in my heart where the sun is always shining. There wasn't that the big thing to say. And that isn't always true, but it has actually been pretty true today. I've been in a pretty good mood. And things have come together for me very well. Hi, Lainey. Glad you're here. If I'm looking away from you before I say anything, it's because I have to look over in that direction to see who's here. And I'm glad you're here. I'm glad I'm here. It's good to be here. It really is. And it's good to be here with you. So I'm thrilled. I want to thank you for taking an hour out of your lives to be here with me, to help create this spiritual community that we are putting together. I would like to thank my red-haired and sneezing muse for all of her help. She does all the lighting and stuff so that I look reasonably good. Otherwise, I'd be just kind of this voice coming out of the blackness over here. She sets all of that up because she knows how to do it. And she's the one who kind of talks to you guys through the computer when I'm busy blabbing away, because I have not yet, in addition to not necessarily having everything turned on when I should, I have not yet mastered being able to read the things that are popping up over here and look at you and talk to you at the same time. So if I look over occasionally, it's because I'm snoopy and I want to know who's here. And it's not that I'm not paying attention to you or ignoring you. Believe me, it's not. It's I want to know who you are. I want to know who's here with us. So hello, everybody. And many blessings to you, Rosa Maria, and to Lainey and to Dana. Many blessings. It's good to be here with you tonight. And whenever, I guess. I love doing Wednesday. Wednesday is just, it's a throwback for me. But Wednesdays were always fun because I could pretty much talk about anything that popped into my head and turn it into a spiritual principle, which is my favorite thing to do. So the opportunity to kind of do that again is awesome. Is awesome. I don't have a big stool to sit on like I used to. I miss my stool. That was really cool. Now I have my desk chair, which swivels, and which, quite honestly, I'm sitting on a pillow tonight because we can't get it to go up as it's supposed to. And if I don't sit on the pillow, I'm down here someplace, and that just feels weird. So, my pillow are here to talk to you tonight. And we want you to know that we're very grateful that you're here. And happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. I haven't listened to the news yet, so I'm probably in a happier mood than I will be after I've listened to the news. But right now, it's good. Right now, it's really good. And it's been a good day. I did all kinds of wonderful spiritual things. I checked out some mystics, and I just checked out some poets, and I did a tarot reading, and I meditated, and I journaled, and I mopped the kitchen floor, which is a spiritual experience if you let it be. If Brother Lawrence could do dishes and call that a spiritual experience, I do dishes all the time. I haven't yet quite made it into a spiritual experience. But mopping the floor can be, because what are you going to think about while you're mopping the floor? You just kind of push the thing back and forth and hope it's all working. So that's part of what I did today. And I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. Not only do I feel spiritually more centered, but I have a clean kitchen floor, and that just thrills me. Lainey says Wednesday night was her first note so many years ago. Came on Sunday, started classes on Tuesday, and stayed for a long time. Yes, you did. Dana's first was a Wednesday evening, too. I remember that. Well, actually, I think, Dana, weren't you there? No, Wednesday was the first. We were there forever on Wednesdays. And I love that. We had our own little tundra, didn't we, on Wednesday nights? And some interesting things got said. People say to me sometimes, so when you said so-and-so, what did you say right after that? And I said, I have no idea. On Wednesdays, it was just right off the top of my head and right out of the center of my heart. And I never knew later what I had said, well, except once. And Dana will remember that one. I know she will, because she's got that kind of memory. Anyway, here we are again on Wednesday nights together. And I'm thrilled, as I hope you are. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I'm going to start doing a 3-part series, and I think it's going to start on Sunday. You're all used to me talking about my old mantra of, there's me thinking that again, or there's me doing that again, or there's me saying that again. And I don't say that anymore. I don't think like that anymore. I don't speak like that anymore. And I decided, well, actually, I got some help in the decision making from a couple of friends who just went, wow, we'd like to know more about it. And I don't know exactly what that's going to look like, but I'm thinking we will do one say on, there's me, let's see, where shall I start? There's me thinking that, and I don't think that anymore. There's me saying that, and I don't say that anymore. Or there's me doing that, and I don't do that anymore. I think it's got lots of possibilities, and we'll see. But I think it'll start here on Facebook Live on Sunday at noon. I'm also speaking at for the Unity of Ventura Church on Sunday at 10 o'clock, and it will be a totally different talk this time, because I didn't think about doing this for them, and I don't necessarily do consecutive weeks there, so it could get a little confusing. But I'm going to take advantage of doing it on Sundays at Facebook Live. And then if you want to hear what my talk is for Ventura Unity on Sunday, if I can find that piece of paper, I'll tell you about that too. Or just tune in. We'll put the address for the site up on this page. So if you want to hear me at 10 o'clock and at noon on Sunday, you can do that. But just know that the talk at Unity is not the same talk as I will be giving on Facebook Live next Sunday. So there, you've been warned. And now you know what to do to avoid. That's totally up to you. Always a choice. Always a choice. Isn't that great? Fun? Aren't you glad? Sometimes. Okay. So, hi, Steve and Philip. Hello, 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 hello. Oh, good. It's good to have you guys here. Anyway, I'm going to blab for a little while. So sit back and pour yourself a glass of wine or an iced tea or hot chocolate or whatever your weather allows for, wherever you are. Stay safe, whatever it means to you. And let's talk. Let's talk. I want to talk a little bit tonight about poets and mystics. Well, one specific poet and one specific mystic, both of whom actually did both things in my mind. If you've been around me any length of time at all, and most of you have, especially if you've been around Christmas time, you know that I love Shel Silverstein. I just love his work. I especially love The Giving Tree, which I have talked about on more than one occasion, because I think it's such an amazing, amazing story. But I want to talk about something else tonight. Shel also wrote, we're on a first name basis now because I love him so much. Shel also wrote Where the Sidewalk Ends. And if you know it, great, then you probably love it as much as I do. And if you don't, you are about to. And hopefully I will do it justice. So Shel writes, there is a place where the sidewalk ends, and before it begins. And there the grass grows soft and white, and there the sun burns crimson bright, and there the moonbird rests from his flight to cool in the peppermint wind. Let's leave this place where the smoke blows black, and the dark streets winds and bends. Past the pits where the asphalt flowers grow, we shall walk with a walk that is measured and slow, and watch where the chalk white arrows go to the place where the sidewalk ends. Yes, we'll walk with a walk that is measured and slow, and we'll go where the chalk white arrows go, for the children they mark, and the children they know the place where the sidewalk ends. I've been a city kid most of my life. Born and raised in San Francisco, right at the corner of Greenwich and trust me, it's all asphalt there. It's all sidewalk. But where the sidewalk ended on Columbus Day, which just happens to be my birthday, where the sidewalk ended, there was a parade. And I thought for the first 5 years of my life, well, maybe 4, I think I was catching on by the time I was 5. But the first 4 years of my life, I thought that parade was for me. I thought all those men got dressed up in those funny uniforms and came down Columbus for Columbus Day, came down Columbus, playing their instruments and doing whatever else that they were doing. It's been a few years now. For me, for my birthday, right out there where the sidewalk ended. And that made that street kind of magical to me. If I had heard the poem back then, I probably would have thought of that parade and those men, and how thrilled I was that they showed up every year on my birthday. I look at it a little differently now. I think Silverstein is talking about something much grander than just a parade. I think he's talking about how to find that knowing that children have, how to find that place beyond the asphalt flowers and the road that winds and bends and the smoke blows black. I think he's talking about getting away from civilization and finding joy, peace, and God, if you will. At least that's how it reads to me now. A place where grass grows soft and white, and there the sun burns crimson bright, and there the moonbird rests from his flight to cool in the peppermint wind. Wouldn't it be heaven to a child? Where grass is soft and white, and the sun is crimson bright, and the moonbird rests in the peppermint wind. Doesn't that sound like a child's idea of heaven? Isn't that a great way to look at the world? As a magical place where things are different where the sidewalk ends, and where we as children can get our chalk and draw arrows and show other people the way. Great teacher once said, "Be ye as little children." Oh, would that we could. Or would that we did more often. I know some of you, and I know you do child extremely well. But everyone does. And what better image of heaven than a place where children play and are joy-filled? The place that the children know how to get to. The adults maybe not. I mean, Peter Pan's the same story, kind of, isn't it? The place that the children know how to get to. We forget. And yet Jesus said, "Be ye as little children, be ye as kids. Get out your sidewalk chalk and put arrows and show people the way. Be ye as a child filled with joy and wonder, and see the magic in the world." Ah. So I began thinking of Shel Silverstein as a mystic and not just a poet and the writer of children's books. And I'm sure he did much more than that, but right now that's where my mind is. Which led me to another mystic, because the end of the sidewalk also brought another phrase to mind. Out beyond the ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. I think perhaps Rumi was reincarnated as Shel Silverstein, and that where the sidewalk ends is just moderation of the poem that Rumi called A Great Wagon in the 13th century. We don't too often hear much more than just that part, and actually that's the middle of a three-part poem. I'm not going to read the beginning of it, but let me pick up there and share the rest of it with you. Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there's a field. I'll meet you there. When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about. Ideas, language, even the phrase each other doesn't make any sense. The breeze at dawn has secrets to tell you. Don't go back to sleep. You must ask for what you really want. Don't go back to sleep. People are going back and forth across the doorsill where the two worlds touch. The door is round and open. Don't go back to sleep. I can hear the child in that as well. And I believe that while Rumi's audience was likely more adult, they're both saying the same thing. There is a place beyond this place beyond ideas of right doing and wrong doing, place with a sidewalk, which is a barrier of sorts, ends. One of them says the grass is white and soft. And the other says when the soul lies down in grass, the world is too full to talk about. Ideas, language, even the phrase each other, which suggests that there's a me and a you, doesn't make any sense. The breeze at dawn, he says, has secrets to tell you. Perhaps about the crimson sun. Or perhaps about moonbird cooling in the peppermint wind. The breeze has secrets to tell you. Don't go back to sleep. And then he says you must ask for what you really want. Do we? Do we? Some of you do, I know. Some of you are actually very good at that. I was never taught how to. And so it's taken me a while, and I still wonder that I'm not as good at it as I would like to be. You must ask for what you really want. What do you really want? What would make your heart sing? What would help you to see the moonbird and to smell the peppermint wind? What would bring you joy and fulfillment? What would make your heart sing? What do you want? Are those not the things that most of us really want? Our heart to sing, for the world to be more loving, a more congenial, a kinder place? Don't go back to sleep. People are going, Rumi writes, back and forth across the doorsill where the two worlds touch. Two worlds. The world of the field that is beyond ideas of right and wrong. And the world, that place where the sidewalk ends. And we go back and forth all the time, don't we? We fall into joy, we fall into happiness, we fall into success, we fall and we roll around in it, and we find the joy of it, and we're thrilled with ourselves. And then come back the ideas of right doing, and we start judging ourselves and each other. Or mother's voice calls us back up onto the sidewalk because it's time for dinner, or it's time to take a bath, or you weren't supposed to go off the sidewalk. The dorsal where the tilts touch. And the door, Rumi tells us, the door is round and open. And then he reminds us one more time, don't go back to sleep. But in that sleep, what dreams may come? What poems might be written? Oh, I'm not saying go back to sleep. I know that we all need our sleep. Yes, I'm not saying don't sleep. I'm saying don't go back to sleep. Don't go back to that place where you don't know who you are or what you want, what it is you need to ask for. And there are several ways you can do that. You can ask yourself for it, see if you are capable of providing it. Very often we've overlooked the fact that we are the ones in charge of our life, and that in fact we could provide that which we most need. We pray for it. We ask God for it without realizing that we could do it ourselves if we wanted to. I talked about that on Sunday. Heraclitus said it is foolish for men to ask the gods for that which they can obtain for themselves. Strange that I would remember that one. So we could ask God for it. We could ask others for it, others being a really big category. Others, our close friends, relatives, the people that we love, our bosses, our teachers, our constituents, our government. We'd ask all of those people for what it is we want. And that might be appropriate. See, my question is not so much who are you asking, as have you thought about who you should be asking? Is this something you can and perhaps should do for yourself, for your own soul growth, or just because it's easier? Kat is on the other side of the room, and I could ask her to hand me a Kleenex. But see, the Kleenex box is actually closer to me than it is to her. And I just reach out and get it myself. Well, it was. Now it's been moved. Rats. There goes that part of the talk. Can you hand me a Kleenex?
I can. Where did the box go?
I don't know. It was right there. But wait. Sometimes you can do it for yourself. Look. A Kleenex. All I had to do was look over it. Now I have two. Now, here's the question. Was it up to me to get my own? Well, yes, right up until the box moved. And once the box had been moved, my reality had changed. So although I thought it was close for me to just reach over and pick one up and go, look, I have one. I don't have to ask somebody else for it. I certainly don't need to pray to God for it. But thinking then that I didn't have Wendy, I asked Gak for help. And there it is. Two of them now. Whether I need two or not, whether I need one or not, I now have two. What's very clear to me was that I didn't pray for it. Now, if there was no Kleenex in the house and I had an allergy attack, I might want to pray. Or I might want to find a substitute. We all know where the substitute Kleenex is, don't we? It's on that roll in the bathroom. Here's my point. That which you want. I'd make a list. I'd put down maybe the top 3 or 5 things. And then I would say, who do I assign this to? My life. Who do I assign it? Is this mine to do? Is it mine to reach over and pick up a Kleenex and just get it handled and not bother anybody else? Is it someone else's to do? Are they closer to the Kleenex box? Or less cornered by wires and lights and things? It's not easy for me to move from this position. Or is it God's to do? Is it a God thing? Is it so big, so metaphysical, beyond the physical, that it really is God's to handle? So take your little list of 3 to 5 things and assign them. And then, and probably in reverse order, for what you think it is God's to do. What you'll probably find out before it's all said and done is that doors will open and you'll end up doing it anyway. or someone will help you do it, which is really nice to work together. Chances are God will not appear out of nowhere and take down the wall. I almost said build the wall. I don't want to go there. That's another talk. But God will find a way through earthly means to get done what needs to get done. God in you is going to figure it out one way or another. And then assign things that are specifically somebody else's job. That although you are the one who wants them, somebody else could do a better job of it. Somebody else could make it nicer. Somebody else could just do it more easily. If it is theirs to do, let them do it. Let them do it. You might want to hire them to do it. You might want to just ask them if they would please hand you the Kleenex. You might want to investigate who would do it best and get that person to do it. So, reverse order. First God, so that those wheels of creation can start moving in your favor. Secondly, humanity. And then last of all, get off your butt and go do the ones that it's to do. I think you'll find when you do it that way, it's kind of more fun. It's sort of the way a kid would, isn't it? Mine to do. I want to do it. Let me do it. So go do it. Now, I realize certain constraints upon all of us in the moment. We can't all just go out and do things right now. But we can start planning. We can start imagining what it will be like when they're done. We can start visioning the completed project. Beware of that, however, when you've turned it over to God, because God's got ways that you wouldn't have thought of yet. And they may show up in your mind, those new ways, and they may show up in a totally unrelated way. Just make room for the miraculous when you've asked God to do it. Make room for the unexpected. Yeah. Make room for a little bit of magic when you ask God to do it. I mean, we as humans actually do things pretty well, I think, most of the time. I mean, look what we've created. And then sometimes I roll my eyes and say, look what we've created. But most of the time, I'm kind of astounded by where our intellect and our vision and our heart can take us. That's why you always want to stay involved. Because you have intellect and heart and vision and deserves to be expressed. And there is a place for all that in our lives. To Silverstein, it was the place where the sidewalk ended. I like that picture. I really, really like that picture. The stepping off the sidewalk where it's safe and known and predictable. We step into a magic realm. That place where the sidewalk ends and before the street begins, that magical spot, that step, that one step. Can you take that step? There is, in Tarot, and if you're as soon as I am, you've already looked at all the stuff behind me in the bookcase, and you know there's a lot of Tarot cards there. I love them. I love them for art. I love them for their ability to help me think about what's going on in my life. But there is a card. Let me see if I can. I've got one deck right here. See if I can find this quickly. It is the number one card in the Tarot deck, and it should be. No? Hold on, be patient with me. All right, there it is. There he is. There he is. This is a different deck. So for those of you that are expecting the Rider-Waite deck, you're not going to see that right now. It's the Fool. And the Fool is not about being an idiot. He's named the Fool because he's naive, because he doesn't know. He's a child, really, in many ways, but he's ready to jump off into the world, ready, along with his puppy, to take on the challenge of the world, ready to meet people and do things and make magic happen. The naive one. Oh, would that we all were as naive. We were once. The Fool's admonition is to go for it. Take the leap. Jump off the sidewalk. If you dare, jump with both feet at the same time. If you're a little bit more cautious, then jump with one foot. Bring the other one with you. It's just a little bit safer landing. To be a child again is to risk being called a fool. And yet, the whole journey through the Tarot deck is called the Fool's Journey. All of the cards are, especially the major arcana, are people and situations and circumstances that we all run into in our lives. It is the opportunity to look at those things anew, to look at the whole world in a new way, to leave the place where the smoke blows black and the dark street winds and bends. Past the pits where the asphalt flowers grow, we shall walk. Shall we not? With a walk that is measured and slow, and watch where the chalk white arrows go to the place where the sidewalk was. Wendy said to Peter Pan, where are we going? Where are we flying to? And I know some of you were already saying the words, and I'm experiencing a blank, but it was just beyond a star. Just beyond what grown-ups think of as the reach. Out there, where one can be naive again, and perhaps even a little foolish, and perhaps find God. Find the magic in life again. Find the wonder in life again. Find the love and the joy and the experience of being in a whole new world just inches away. From ideas of wronging and right doing. I'll meet you there. What a great place that would have to be. When the soul lies down at grass, the world is too full to talk about. Did you ever lie down in the grass as a kid and stare up at the clouds and try to see shapes and things in them? And after a while, you didn't even want to talk. You just watched the clouds as they changed, kept becoming different things. And one thing would take shape and then leave, and another would fill its place in your heart, your mind, and the sky. Don't go back to sleep. Stay away and let the world love you. Make your list for sure. There are things you want to do in this world. There are things that you want to have happen in this world. So absolutely make your list. And then give out the assignments to yourself, to humanity, and to God. And then let it go. Let it go. Do what is yours to do. We should always be doing what is ours to do, but without the heavy weight of I should do this. I must do this. If I don't do it, who will do it? How depressing all of that is. Now, it may be that it is absolutely yours to do, and if you don't do it, no one will do it, but I kind of doubt it. Somebody will do it. And then you'll have the joy of sitting back and saying, I thought of that. I could have done that. That could have been me. And if someone asks you, well, why didn't you do it? I'm going to tell them. Do what is yours to do. Or begin to lay out the plans. Get excited about it. You know, if you start picturing it and envisioning it, you can get more excited. You get more passionate about something you can see. So create a vision around it. It probably won't look exactly like that anyway. It'll probably turn out better, but it's a place to start. So I've spent my day with mystics and poets and loved every minute of it. Every minute spending time with those two amazing men. I'm almost sorry the talk's over. I think I'll go back and read some more Rumi and some more Shel Silverstein tonight. I love them. I love the way they look at the world, both of them. As though there is a place beyond this place. Where we can all meet. And where we can simply be together. We could go there now. It's not a physical place. We can stay apart together. Stay together apart. Choices. More choices. So, I'm going to open this up for a couple of minutes. Does anybody have any questions? I'm going to pray. So if you have any questions, you know where to put them. Hey there, you guys. Let's see. Let me see. Susan says she's still breathing in that gold mist we spoke about, and that it's magical. It is magical. It really is. I borrowed it. Well, I changed it a little bit, but I borrowed it mostly from Andrew Harvey, and I just had to share it. I thought it was mystically wonderful. Second star to the right. Thank you. And onward toward evening, something like that. Yeah, Steve, I the place of being too. We're all so busy judging right and wrong, good and bad, aren't we? Sometimes it just is. And very often it doesn't need our judgment. More often it probably needs our love and acceptance. Which is not to say you watch somebody burn down a building and go, oh, good for you. What I'm saying is, if someone tells you to burn down a building, they're hurting. Give them your love. You cannot accept the act and still accept the actor. Donna Whitland, darling, a big hello to you. Donna was my neighbor. She put up with my barking a lot. Steve, is he building a miracle? I'd love to hear more about that, Steve. Email me and let me know. I'd love to support you. I know how talented you are, so if you're building a miracle, I'd love to be in on it. You all are the most amazing people. Hi, Laura. The most amazing people. Each one of you, I could do another whole hour just on you. Maybe I will someday, without telling any of your secrets. But just my observation of each of you is that you are miracle workers. You all, whether you go there or not, know the way to the field beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing. You all know how to walk the sidewalk and go to that place where the grass is soft and white. You all know. We don't all go there as often as we should. I don't think there's a should. I'm leaving that should in. I think we should all spend more time there. It's where the magic happens. That's where the dreams are dreamt, and that's where the dream visions come true. Oh, we can plant our feet firmly in firmer. We can stay on the sidewalk. We can stay wherever Rumi was before he went to the field. And we can do a lot there. In fact, we need to spend time there as well, I think, because there's a lot to be done there. But for the good of our own soul, we need to go beyond and spend some time there as well. Self-care, they hear in terra firma land. Self-care. Take care of yourself. Spirit. Your heart. Care for that part of you that contains the magic. If you had a ball of it, a glass ball of it, and you knew the ball could break if you didn't treat it tenderly, would you not find a place to put it where it would be safe and care for it, protect it? If your soul was contained, would you not do that? If your spirit, if your creative abilities were contained in that, would you not treasure it? Because God has, Spirit has, life has put it within us so that it's portable and can take us everywhere we go, we forget that it also needs care. Meditate. Spend quiet time. Journal if that works for you, or talk into a microphone if journaling doesn't work for you. The only thing I would say is don't necessarily do it on your computer because there's a disconnect. And pray. Because prayer is our communication with the infinite within everything. Prayer is our use of language so that we can hear what it is we need to say to God. Prayer wakes up that spirit within us so that we don't go back to sleep. Will you pray with me? And let us take a breath. And another. And we can breathe in that golden mist if we choose. Breathe in the sound of a child's laughter and know the voice to be our own. We can breathe in the wonder of this amazing universe. Breathing in the magic and exhaling anything within us that is not like that. Breathing in the soft white grass. Breathing out the blackened streets. Breathing in the field. Breathing out ideas of wrongdoing and right doing. And with each breath now, we become more aware that although our eyes may be closed, we are wide awake. We see perhaps more clearly now than we have ever seen the possibilities of our presence in the universe. We are here as emissaries of the divine, and we know how to be innocent. We know how to be joy-filled. We know how to bring the power and the presence of creation itself right here to the place where we are right now. And we needn't fly anywhere. We needn't go anywhere. We are nowhere more powerful than we are right here and right now. What a joy then to be childlike again, to let our imaginations run free, to let our spirit leap tall buildings in a single bound, to allow our joy to be overflowing, and to know that that joy is more contagious than anything on earth. And we happily share it, knowing that there is an unlimited pool from which it comes. We are so blessed, each of us in our own way. And we take a moment now, each of us individually, in the sanctuary of our own homes, to speak into being that which we most desire. What will you call into being? Speak now and know that creation listens and responds. and deepest gratitude for the power and the presence that makes it all real right now. For the love and the wisdom and the joy that is so freely shared. I am grateful. And we are all blessed. Beyond the ideas of right doing and wrong doing, there is a field. We have met there tonight, and we shall return again and again and again. And so it is. It is so wonderful to spend this time with you. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Kak, for all of your assistance. She now also heads the music department. Thank you all for your consciousness, which comes together. It all comes together. It reminds me that we've uploaded all of my talks, except this one, which shall be uploaded to YouTube as well. If you put in Marlene Morris, you'll get a whole bunch of stuff, but then you'll get the talk. Right now, they're filed by the title of the talk, but the date is on them if you have a specific date that you really like, and my name is on all of them. So I'll show up on YouTube too. I'm trying to do you every way I know how. And of course, all of the talks right now are also still on my Facebook page. You just have to scroll down quite a ways to get to some of them. YouTube might be easier for you. And I know that we all have friends who don't support Facebook.
Also on relevant spirituality.
And on relevant, I've just been reminded. And they are on relevantspirituality.com. A couple of them are not yet there, but they will be probably by tomorrow. It's my to-do list. Oh, thank you, Susan. It's a whole new world, people. We need to be whole and new in it. I shall pray for you and for your lists and for your vision. And I shall be back here next Wednesday at 7 and next Sunday at noon. And if that noon spot doesn't work, or if you just want 2 doses of me on Sunday, Kak, have we put up the... No, we can't do that yet, can we? The Zoom meeting for Unity Ventura.
I don't have your title yet.
Oops. That was on my list too. And I don't remember it off the top of my head. So it'll be a surprise to all of us. Won't it?
I'll post it tomorrow with any love.
Okay, it'll be posted by tomorrow. It may even be posted within the next few minutes if I can find my note. I think I sent it all off in an email and then taught my note, so I have to re-find the email. But it'll be Unity Ventura at 10 o'clock on Sunday at a Zoom meeting, and then back here on Facebook Live at noon on Monday, and then back here on Facebook Live at 7 o'clock next Wednesday night. So, be safe until then. Make your lists, make your assignments, and then go do what is yours to do. I love you all. It's 8 o'clock. Time to go do your 8 o'clock thing, whatever that may be. I love you. Take care. Be safe. Know that you go with God, because you can go no other way.